Welcome to Skol Chat with Skoda. We are a chat group created by four guys who are a blended family, not only through the traditional familial means, but also for the love of the game, specifically for our favorite team, the Minnesota Vikings. We won't claim to be professionals, nor will we cover a lot of stats unless it is specific to the topics we'll be discussing. We are just four fans who get together to basically discuss all aspects of the team, from games, training, releases, signings, and the overall organization itself. Our name is derived from two of us who currently reside in Minnesota, and two of whom reside deep within Packer territory. This is not our livelihood, as we, like many of you, have busy lives, and what we hope to obtain are additions to our blended family by having you become a part of it. We have room to add a couple of you at a time during our airings and would like you to join us in our chat. As with any family, there will be happy times and sad times to be discussed and experienced. Although the game may only last a season, the desire for the game and the team is year-long. If you want to join us, please hit the subscribe button, follow us on YouTube, and give us either a thumbs up or a thumbs down, depending on your experience, and leave us a comment. If you'd like to join us during the show, contact us at the email link provided below.
All right.
We're ready.
Had to hit the button, man. Welcome, everyone, to Skol Chat 23. This week, we're going to talk about the disappointing Vikings performance against the Seahawks out in Seattle last weekend. We'll preview the upcoming game against the Washington football team, and we'll give our projections on who's going to win the game, and then also talk about the NFC North and do some predictions there. With that, let's get started. The Vikings lost to the Seahawks 26-0.
Yep.
I think between the last two quarters of the Packers game and the first two quarters of the Seahawks game, they have -7 points because Brosmer, threw the pick six. I do want to show you, I got some behind the scenes footage of the quarterbacks practicing. There's our quarterback. I mean, I think they're working. I think that's JJ. I thought it was JJ working on his mechanics. No, I think it's more like this. I mean, I prefer the overhead double hand throw, wouldn't you? I mean, I could have kept it going, but I didn't want him to get into the end zone. But yeah, it was disappointing. I was hoping Brosmer would be able to do a little bit better, but yeah, I mean, the defense held them in the game. They held them to 19 points, being on the field all game long, and then, giving up points to the other team. They did what they could do.
It definitely was a little rougher than I thought it would have been, but I guess given the time that he's actually played, may have come into factor, just like we talked about McCarthy. They're both young quarterbacks.
The game wasn't designed for him. It was designed for how he wants to always play. So.
Yep.
Well, here's the deal. Like I've been trying to say with McCarthy, bottom line is, he's a rookie. Granted, been in the league this is his second year, but he's still a rookie. Hadn't been out on the actual playing field. And I don't care how much people harp about preseason games. That's, like Jeremiah Sherrill said on one of the podcasts I listened to, being on a regular season, being out there is a whole lot different than preseason and, of course, training camp and everything else. Yeah. Myself, I was hoping that Max could do a little better because of his quicker processing, but it showed, just like with McCarthy, drop passes. Jefferson, he's a great receiver, but to me, it's almost like I've seen him with Cousin, Mullins, and Dobbs, and even Carson Wentz. He was actually trying to, when the ball's coming his way, he seems to really make an effort to grab the ball or get a hold of the ball. Now, like I said before, I can see, but when the ball's in the radius of him, he usually grabs it. But what I've seen is like, the effort to me doesn't seem to be there. But the bottom line is all 10 offensive players, and I'm speaking about the 10. If you're going with McCarthy's got a few games under his belt compared to Max, but the whole thing is that the whole other 10 players, along with the O-line. I've seen, I don't know how many times, like I told Joe, I've seen one Seahawk defensive lineman blow past Kelly. Then there was another one that got by Fries. So, there's something there. The connection kind of odd. And then the bottom line is the I don't think it's so much the play call. That's what O'Connell and his system and that. But the knock I got on O'Connell, he expects the QB to be able to always throw down the field, And I know I said before, we're not there. We're watching it, but we don't really know everything that's going on and the communications and that with the coaches. But like we always talked about too, instead of passing on 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1, granted, you haven't had much success in running, but keep on pounding the ball. Eventually, you're going to get somewhere, But I thought it was stupid to go for it on 4th and 1. Wasn't it the first possession?
That's what I showed.
Why not kick the field goal?
Well, that was the play I showed. It was 4th and 1. And what happened? What they do?
Yeah.
Action pass where the defense, there's an unblocked defender. The running back that's going out to the flat didn't even try to chip him, leaves him unblocked, which I think that's the play call. He's not supposed to chip him, which again, players got to make plays, right? And if I saw that in the backfield, there's a unblock. He's unblocked for a reason because they want to. That's the play. So then he had no. I mean, if they don't bite on the run fake, which at this point, no team is going to bite on a run fake in short yardage with the Vikings.
No. They've already, they've checked out prior games. You know what I mean?
And here we look at it here too. We're talking about scheme. What scheme are you going to run? How are you going to attack this offense? I mean, you're not. There's so many like smart offensive coordinators, play callers. I mean, are you telling me that you can't just get gimme plays, just quick throws? I mean, other than screens or other than just knowing that they're playing off on Jefferson and just throwing the ball. I mean, you can't scheme him open.
Yeah, you definitely can. All the decades we've been doing this, yeah, definitely.
And then also, like, how many times, like, you're telling me these first reads aren't open? They're not throwing the ball. I mean, so like I said, it's the schematics, it's the whole structure of this offense is just all broken. I mean, you've heard him, like, there's been like talk about, he calls in the play calls and he's always saying, hey, look for this or watch this. If you notice the safety doing this, look for the first read. But they're holding the ball for 4 or 5 seconds if the line is blocking that well enough. Are there, again, the line's efforts, maybe it's questionable, but like I said, I question the whole structure of the offense at this point. Like I said, like you should be able to have a first read open 1 out of 5 times. You drop back the pass. But like you said, they just didn't run the ball enough. Max Brosmer threw the ball 35 times in the game. Obviously, you're behind, but there was points in the game where you weren't behind that much. So again, I think it's just broken.
I think it kind of bugs me because there were series where they were running the ball and they were gaining yards.
And that's what happens. And then
then the next thing start throwing the ball.
It's like if he sees a run that doesn't gain 4 or 5 yards on first down, he just passes. He just doesn't have the patience. It's not like Zimmer, and Norv Turner's offenses back in the early, in the mid 2000s where they were dedicated to run the ball. I mean, they kept running it because, again, just like passing against, eventually, with the spread offenses that the teams are doing now, they found more value in passing the ball. But eventually, if you run the ball enough, good things will happen. And they just don't do it enough.
Well, that's true. The thing is, I think he's got to work for the pass play and run plays and that. Like you said, yeah, you might run the ball for 2 plays and then, like if there's a yard, pass it. And then that's where you start running it because that's his routine. Now, if he would really switch it up, regardless what's going on, he's calling the plays according to what he's getting the information and what he's seeing on the field. So this is why I think he's going through this process. But what he ought to do regardless, all right, say if you run the ball and you got short yards to go, like 1 yard or whatever, don't try to do the quarterback sneak or having like Hawkinson going in or whatever. Put Mason out there, let him pound the rock. And he proved that he can, you know, there have been times that you would think that he'd be stopped at the line of scrimmage, but he gains almost 10 yards, you know? What I'm trying to say, change it up. Don't, you know.
Or run out of passing formations or pass out of running formations, which anytime they have jumbo, they're gonna pass. And then even if they do run, you're running out of jumbo, so there's gonna be more big guys on the field. So you're running where the strength of the defense is. I mean, at least they haven't run that toss play. I hate that toss play that they ran for the first 8 weeks of the season, where everything's running well, they're getting some yards, and then they run a toss play and lose 4 or 5 yards.
Yeah.
But like I said,
there's also too, you know, talking about quick pass. Don't have a quick pass behind us, you know, line of scrimmage. You know what I'm saying? That's where I've seen some of these quick passes to the sidelines, you know, and whoever the receiver is, they're 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Well, they're already picking that up. Look at how many times, you know.
And there's another. They completely ignore his plays, ignore the middle of the field.
Yeah,
and I want to say it's hard to kind of see with the game. I wish I could see like the all 22. But I bet you the majority of these teams are running zone defense on them, and so basically they're running zones. So the defensive is calling zone defense, and then his plays or his route concepts, they're covered up by the zone, so they know where because everything's on the edges.
Yeah. You know, and how many catches I didn't keep track of all that, but how many passes to Hawkinson? Well, I know there had to have been a couple, 3 of them that he caught that he got some yardage, you know. But the first pass to him, to Hawkinson, he dropped it. Addison, how many passes did he drop for?
That I don't know, but yeah, there was a fair amount of passes that were good throws that were dropped and just were not caught. It was
right. And Jefferson dropped one, and that's the same with McCarthy. Even with Adam Thielen, who worked with McCarthy during the offseason, there were some passes he dropped when he was out there. At first, Naylor dropped them, but then it seemed like there was a connection. But what gives me, there was a connection with McCarthy and Addison during training camp. And when Addison came back, there were connections. But lately, they've been dropping it.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched Kurt Warner. Is it Kurt Warner? Yeah. He broke down their offense against the Packers, and he was saying that it looks like the Vikings offense is a pure progression offense, which means that they look at this person. If he's not open, they look at this person. If he's not open, look at this person. Well, so you have this amount of time to look at it, and the timing's all off. The timing, like with the receivers, is off. They're not. When they're supposed to be open, they're not open yet. Also, another issue is that with those type of offenses, the quarterback, and especially with the having rookies or second-year quarterbacks, they can eliminate things right off of by looking at the defense. They have to go through that whole progression.
Yeah.
And so, especially with the offensive line not giving them time, and like you can see when they do have time, they're just and so like I said, the whole timing of the offense is, like I said, it's broken, and I don't know if it's going to be fixed this year.
No,
unless he gets out of his own way and just runs the ball more, runs play action, runs short passing to attack zone defenses where the middle of the field's wide open. I don't care. You don't have to. I mean, at this point, I'd rather have people, running, getting the ball and being able to get yards after a catch. But if you're having to sit down and gain 4 or 5 yards, at least it's positive yardage. But I think don't think at this point, I don't know if it's an ego thing. I don't know if he can get past it. The play caller, Kevin O'Connell's not going to do that because he thinks his play calls are the best and he thinks it should work, even though nothing's working. So I don't know.
I think he listened to his press conference, and it sounds like that he mentioned about taking a look at it and whatever, and the way it sounds that he accepted the fact that neither McCarthy or Max are able to do what he, what you said, his way of, passing.
Well, veteran quarterbacks know,
Right.
okay, I'm sure Darnold, I'm sure Cousins knew it. They read the defense, were like, I'm not even looking here because the safety's shading this way. So I'm going to go over here, and I don't know what it is with neither, Brosmer or McCarthy. They couldn't do, Hawkinson, that's where he got a couple of his catches was from checkdowns, but they completely ignore checkdowns. Again, if you take what's there instead of trying to get to the big chunk, every third play, it's going to be a lot better. Again, we can sit here and talk all night. I just think unless the offense changes, unless there's a different scheme, unless there's a different, thought process, it's not going to change this year, which I started the podcast. We wanted to kind of get together because, when we first started the season, I thought there was a chance it to be a good team. And on paper, they should be.
Yeah, they should be.
Well, they're all good players. It's just that, like the offense, for some reason, maybe it's because of all the shuffling around or whatever, it seemed like the offense is not connecting. And it's up to the veterans players, the other 10 players, to help out the young quarterback. And sometimes it seemed like, so anyway, the bottom line is, it's been said that they're going to simplify whatever. O'Connell admitted that he told McCarthy, so McCarthy can go out there with, not thinking too much of everything, just to go out there, play ball, and make good decisions.
That may be, Dano, but I can't believe they're trying way too hard. You know what I mean? They're trying to make something happen that they're not going to make happen because they're just trying to do it,
Well, on O'Connell's end, the coaching staff, they're trying to, anyway, the bottom line is, Ben said, this is what's going on, the game plan and whatever. They simplified everything because apparently some players aren't in tune to the depth or the concept of the plays and that. So anyway, we'll find out come Sunday, right? But the bottom line is that this time of year, you're not getting full speed. I don't care what they say, the coach or O'Connell, or whatever. They're up there, they're practicing hard. When you have pros that retired and talking about that once after like the 5th game or whatever, you're slowing down the speed of whatever. Like the receivers aren't going 100 miles an hour. They slow down because of the wear and tear and the beating. So then even some practice is jogging through the, plays and whatever, So, they can have great practice. The ball's on target. But the bottom line is, like you mentioned too, Joe, the receivers, and you got a young quarterback, don't know how fast Jefferson is and hesitate on throwing the ball because it doesn't look like the young kid that the way it's going, he's not going to get open. You follow what I'm saying? And
they work on reading, you know what I mean, as far as quarterback to receiver. But I know what you mean, Dano, but that's a good possibility why there's so many missed catches. But even when the ball's thrown on target, and gets in their hands,
they don't lose it or whatever. Well, like a couple of plays there with Max when the interception happened. He threw it too early. What was it? The linebacker got in the way or caught it or whoever it was. He processed it too fast. He was a second too early on his, whatever, because it was stated that he had to slow down a little bit. It was the talk, slow down, slow your process down.
I mean, with
And
the
he even
protection he was
admitted it.
getting, I mean, he had to speed it up, right? So then, again, we can kind of, I mean, it's basically we're saying the same thing. At the end of the day, kind of beating a dead horse at this point. It's just something's got to change, and we'll see if something changes. Well, this is the game I'm going to, so here this weekend.
Here's my feelings.
Yeah, it'll be my first time there at the U.S. Bank Stadium, so yeah.
So where are you sitting at?
I don't even know. This is through the Eagles. I don't know. We were there the summer with brother and sister-in-law. And I guess there was a bus that goes up to the games. They're saying, "Hey, there's a Eagles bus to the game. Who wants to go?" And we were there, so thought, why not? Because we've figured to be a good team this year. And I don't know. It seems to be though like the Vikings every other year thing.
Yeah.
They're good one year, and then they're bad the next year, and then they're good the next. So we'll see. Hopefully, keep our fingers crossed. But I just want to see some positives at this point.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
bottom line is, couldn't hold up their end of the game and played pretty darn well. Although there was quite a few missed tackles,
Oh, and you're on the field the entire time.
I'm talking about before the half. There were some missed tackles.
well, and then I was kind of thinking about, because I mentioned that too. There's a lot of arm tackles. There's a lot of business decisions being made by some players you wouldn't think would be making business decisions, but I know they're focusing on trying to get turnovers, so maybe they're just trying to hold them up and hopefully, try to strip the ball. And of course, they're hoping somebody else comes into the play too and helps them get them down. But at the same time, there's a lot of missed arm tackles that you wouldn't think a pro NFL player would be missing tackles like.
No.
Well, overall, I thought the defense, if it wasn't for that Mac throwing that interception, the defense kept the Seahawks out of the end zone practically the whole game. It wasn't until the end of the game, toward the end of the game there, where the Seahawks fans finally got in the end zone. But I mean, it would have been more or less a kicking game, instead. The way the defense was playing, on both sides, the Seahawks and our defense,
It was
no. Why would you do that? Just
trying to throw the ball away, but he was starting to go down when he released the ball. So
he should have just.
He was just throwing up and praying that somebody caught it. That's what he was doing. He was hoping, a teammate would catch it. He wasn't throwing it away.
He made the highlights, just not the way he wanted to.
He made a bad play worse. So, their defense played well. Dallas Turner had 2 sacks and 2 strips. So they recovered one of the fumbles. So, that was positive. I think he's had how many sacks in the last few games? 3 or 4?
So something like that.
I think at least, at very least.
And I kind of expected the defense to play well against Darnold. I knew they'd keep him in the game, and they've been keeping them in all the games, really.
Yeah.
Except for a couple of seasons.
And Wright did a good job of punting.
Had a lot of opportunities. Yeah, it's positive communication. It's instead of he had some good punts. He had a lot of opportunities too. Anything else other than that from the game?
No, I think we got it covered there.
Was our punter the offensive player of the week or special teams player of the week?
I don't know. I didn't see that.
Well, there was a bit of fallout from the Vikings loss, so I guess Adam Thielen decided he wanted more playing time, which would they give up a 4th and a 5th?
I think it was like 5th and something or other for him. And if he plays so many times or what, there's I don't know. There's certain things to it, but you know how it.
Yeah, there's incentives in contract, but again, you trade for him, you make the trade, you trade the 4th and 5th round pick, picks, because there was 2 of them at least. You get him in here just because, Addison had to sit down for the first 3 to 4 games, and you don't use him. He gained over 1,000 yards.
Part of it was because of the 3-game suspension. The other part, too, was when Naylor hurt his hand in training camp. They didn't think he'd be back a while because of the injury. And then Jefferson was sidelined most of training camp for a ham, right? So they didn't know how Jefferson was going to, well, he was going to be a goal, but is he going to, whatever. So they traded for Thielen because of simple Addison wasn't going to be there. And then they didn't think Naylor was going to come back as soon as he did. So that's why they made the trade.
I still think he's a better receiver, so we'll see what happens. He got picked up by the Steelers, so he gets to go play with Bird Bones.
Yep.
Got at the big one?
They have a chance at the playoffs, I think. I don't know if they're going to... I guess I haven't looked at the playoff picture recently since the Vikings control.
Well, I know that, but that was one of the reasons why Thielen went along.
Yeah, he wanted to play with it, but he's pretty good friends, I think, with Aaron Rodgers. They played golf and stuff together, I think, or have in the past.
Wills, they got the Wills didn't show up on the sidelines for the first time this game.
Yeah, I think it's first time. I think it's first time ever.
Yeah, I think Paul Allen says it's first time.
Well, yeah, that they didn't show up.
Yeah, they didn't show up on the sidelines before the game or anything. Not too happy with all that cash they paid out this year.
Yeah, well, the bottom line is they probably, not too happy, and it was going, oh my God, started undrafted free agent QB, and that's not going to look good. So they didn't want to be embarrassed by showing up on the sideline, I don't know. Yes.
Of course, and we had...
They're chewing tail ends. I'd be chewing on some butts there.
I mean, what's that?
Bright
side. What's the bright side? We didn't, peak cap for the year as far as our spending limit goes,
Next year's a different story. They're going to have to make some cuts.
Changes. Yeah. So they spent all this money to take us somewhere, and we're nowhere.
Well,
and then you got absolutely no points on the board.
Oh, yeah.
You're paying millions a game.
That's unacceptable. Easier said than done.
Well, the thing too is, they know that some of the, revenue. Who's going to want to go out and buy a bunch of jerseys the way they're playing this year?
They do get the revenue share. Well, and that's something that we've kind of talked about since they bought the team, or not we. They're never going to tank. They're always going to try to have at least a middling team on the field. So there's never a full rebuild with the team, which is kind of do the rebuild on the run thing. And it seems like in the last few years, it's just been just above mediocrity. They do well, they have good records, but then they get to the playoffs and, Connells have 0 playoff wins.
I guess you look back at it. Well, so far, O'Connell don't have any playoff wins. How many did Zimmer have? I think you only had like 2 the most.
2 to 3, yeah.
So, and how long has he been in there? 8 years?
I mean,
yeah.
Denny Green was there for how long? And he only had a couple of wins before they made it, to the championship game. I guess what I was just trying to make a point is like, I almost thought to myself, is O'Connell doing this on purpose? Are they trying to get a high pick? I don't know. But then I got to thinking that like the Wills would never allow that. No, would never allow us to tank.
But then,
you never know. Somebody could have, piss somebody else or piss somebody off, and
the bottom line. The bottom line is we all got to keep in mind that it's hard to win a game in it, and you got teams that seem like they dominate year after year after year, but I don't know. Look at how many other teams that have not made the playoffs or won a playoff. It's not just us, and I guess I'm the one that should be more than anybody else. Well, not anybody else, but feel
you got more experience at being disappointed than we do, Dan.
And it sounds like you're getting soft in your old age, because I think a few years ago you'd be You have lower expectations than I do. I expect. I have high standards. Is the situation here?
Beginning of the season, I had my expectation way out of reach, but I guess I learned over the years. What good does it do to cuss and bitch about it? You know, it's happened. It's happening.
You saw the Les Steckel team, so you're used to it.
Yeah, there's that. That was horrible.
So bad they had to bring Bud Grant back out of retirement.
See if we can recruit the Flambeau Falcons for Sunday's game.
Oh God,
Thomas's team.
Oh,
why did it's 8-man, right? Why 8?
They actually
played 9
between 6 and 8.
We had 9-man, and we just we got rid of the offensive tackles, and that just makes more sense than 8 or I don't know. It's just weird.
I'm pretty sure I want to say they tried with 6-man for a minute there, and then we decided to go with 8. But that's because all the surrounding schools decided that's what they wanted to do, and it was between we don't have enough kids that are going to show up, or vice versa. It's been back and forth.
Well,
you can watch some of the games, you know.
What is it that, like, take a look at it. Some of these schools, what you're talking about, 8-man. How many of them young kids, when they got plans going to college and want to get into a football program, you think going to have very many college representative to an 8-man game? Or 8-man team?
I mean, if you're good enough, Chad Greenway played 8-man, and so
it was 9-man.
Okay, sorry.
Either way,
well, then too, he got recruited for college, but then there was a knock on him by the pros, the NFL, that he got into college after playing 9-man, but is he going to be really that good in the pros? They questioned that when he came out in the draft. I remember them talking about it. But anyway, the bottom line is, I was going to look at it. Where the heck, if the season ends now, where do the Vikings pick? Well, the other day I heard before the game they were at 13, so losing to Seattle is
gained them a pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just need to kind of figure out or learn from the Jets or learn from the Giants how to tank for the season. I mean, it's gotten so bad that they're talking about, there's the Justin Jefferson trade rumors going on. So I'm not sure if Adam Schefter
wrote that.
It says an ESPN insider.
Yeah.
I trust everything I hear.
Vikings trade Jefferson. I don't think so.
The guy that wrote it.
They're not going to eat that much money.
They traded Moss.
Well, Moss' contract isn't like what Jefferson's contract is either. But
I don't even know what the hell it is.
But that was under different management, They're not going to trade Jefferson unless Jefferson really wants out. Then maybe they'll oblige.
Well, the reason they drafted Jefferson is because they traded Diggs. So that's the only reason they have him. I was just joking to try and get you riled up.
You were too.
Now there's also talk. So there's people talking about like Kwesi might get let go, KOC might get let go or might get fired. Do you think either of them?
Like I said, I heard about it. People talk about it. Other podcasters said that they had to fire Kwesi or people that whatever. And my opinion, I think that the scouting department needs an overhaul, or they need better scouts. Number two, I think the scouting on show, seen the guy or whatever, but I think maybe he's not doing such a great job. Then you got others like Gritson in there at the personnel, whatever I think it is. I think there ought to be front office moves made. And I don't think just because got this real bad season ought to fire O'Connell. Look at the year before last, after Cousin got hurt. They were going to this.
Some pretty good contracts, so.
I might have.
They were some pretty heavy contracts, though.
What?
Kwesi.
Kwesi?
Yeah.
Hefty contract?
Well, yeah. I mean, he's the one who decides, and and who gets to come in and then what their contract's going to be. I'm saying with our, free agency pickups and stuff, we spent a lot of money this year.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you take a look at it, whatever the contract is for Kwesi and O'Connell, look at when they fired Zimmer, you already had signed an extension with them, and they had like 2 years of his contract. They fired him before the end of his contract. They owe him that money. Now, O'Connell and Kwesi just signed the contract. What the extension? 4 years? 3 or 4 years?
Like that.
I don't remember.
Either or both gets fired, Wolves are stuck with 3, 4 years of their contract.
Yeah, they'll make the payout. I mean, it happens in college too. College, they'll hire a football coach. He'll be there for 2 years. They're not doing well. They'll fire them and pay the do the buyout thing. Get a new coach in there. They'll do the same thing. But so between Kevin O'Connell, Kwesi, and why am I drawing a blank on the defensive coordinator?
Brian Flores.
Brian Flores is the only one that isn't signed past this year. And he's the only one that is actually kind of earning his paycheck. So, again,
maybe you just wait until after the last game and then see what kind of contract he gets. I don't think he's going to get a head coaching job. Whatever owner hires Flores going to be blackballed by the other 31 owners because of the lawsuit.
I don't think he's going to want to stay here. I mean, if you're putting all the effort in, you're doing a good job coaching your team or your side of the ball, and the other side's not holding up their end of the bargain. I think, though, the owners knew that with starting J.J. McCarthy, it was either going to go one of two ways. They're going to be decent because of the roster around him, or they may struggle. And so I think they bought themselves at least 2 years in this. So I don't think either of them are gone.
I don't either. And there's talk about, well, the Vikings ought to go out and get a veteran quarterback. With what, Jack? You don't have any money to get a veteran. Talk about, trade for Max Jones. You might want more money before he comes here. And then there would talk, okay, what about what's his name? Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones and me?
And any. Well, try to get him back. No, the Colts will probably put a franchise tag on him, but they're not going to be able to afford a veteran. So people, it's not strip all the contracts you got out there and get stuck with, whatever, because I don't know how some of these contracts are set up. If this player's cut, how much you're going to save or whatever, you're still stuck with it. On top of that,
just only it all adds to the failure of the year.
Yeah, and if they're all been paid guaranteed, and however they broke down the guarantee.
Well, I think a lot of them are guaranteed nowadays, but a lot of the contract is coming from signing bonuses, which doesn't hit the exact salary cap, right? I mean, I'm not sure how the formula is, but that's why they'll give them more money in signing bonus as opposed to over the life of the contract. And a lot of times they're front loaded too. So, which again, though, they're going to have to make cuts anyways. They're going to have to restructure deals next year because they're projected to be over the cap with the salaries they have. So
the one thing I know for sure they're going to try to do is restructure Hawkinson.
I don't even know what's he got left on his contract.
I don't know. I haven't looked up on over the cap lately. But I'm just saying, are they going to be able to? You think they can restructure Jefferson's contract? I don't know. I'm glad I'm not in their front office. I tell you what, I won't have any hair left.
Like I said, though, Kwesi's, I mean, if after next year, if this next offseason isn't better, Moneyball, you can't do Moneyball in the NFL.
Another thing I keep on hearing, I'm disappointed in whatever about the past draft. Well, Kwesi's first year, how many players are left from that draft class? Isn't Chandler one of them?
From his first draft?
Yeah.
I think Naylor,
Chandler. Chandler is a 5th rounder. Naylor was like 6th round. I can't remember.
Yeah, so the only one from his first draft class that's still with the Vikings is Jalen Naylor.
Okay,
They drafted Lewis Cine with the first pick they had.
Yeah.
Well, then look at this though. Like, so Ed Ingram, they got rid of him, and
Yeah.
I guess he's doing well with this other team.
Well, it's got to be the
So-
scheme. It's got to be how they line up or whatever.
So the coaches are coaching them, and then they're putting them in a position to excel or to succeed.
Yep.
Well, maybe this is a proven thing. What the problem with the O line. Maybe, well, like you and I, when we talked, Joe, let go of the coach, get rid of the line coach, get somebody else. My biggest gripe, going back to the QB, everybody talks about O'Connell being a quarterback whisperer. Well, yeah, but he can't be out there every minute of all the training, exercise, or practice, or whatever, because he's got the head coach's duties, So he can't be out there working with the quarterback all the time. That's why you got a QB coach. And Josh McCown, I thought it was going to be wow, all right. I don't see him helping the QBs any.
Now, we talked about this a little bit last week, I think, too, or maybe the week before. It's all running in together because of what we talked about. But
I got a poor memory.
I just think, we're just going to go back into territory we're already covered if we go any more into that. And we're already getting up here on time. So, geez, I didn't realize that.
All right.
Let's get this going.
When you're arguing.
All right, so they're playing the Washington football team, because I'm not going to call them Commanders, at the U.S. Bank on Sunday, which the Commanders only won 3 games, so the Vikings are a game ahead of them. Was it Jaden Daniels was talking about maybe wanting to play this week? If he's, we'll let him. I'm not sure if he's on the injury report.
I haven't looked at Washington's injury report. I did glance at the Vikings, but
Yeah, so I with this offense, the way things are, unless, like you said, like Kevin O'Connell said to JJ, just go out there and play. We'll see what happens if he just plays. Like like the pastronaut did, Dobbs, when he came in here, didn't know the playbook, so he was just running around, and they won the game against the Falcons in his first game. So injury report, did you want to go over that, John? Do you have that pulled up? Otherwise, I can just kind of talk about notables. You're on mute there.
Alrighty. Let's see. We got Donovan Jackson and Rodriguez both did not participate. So we have Josh Vitalis is limited, Redmond limited, Jonathan Allen just resting. Blake Brandell limited, Ty Chandler is limited. I think he needs to be playing. Gennard limited, Grave limited, Aaron Jones limited, Ryan Kelly limited, Harrison Smith resting, Theo Jackson limited, and then Darrison and McCarthy were both full participation.
So JJ, did pass the concussion protocol test. So it looks like he'll be playing, which I never thought that'd be a positive, but
all right. You gotta think positive. I don't care. I'm positive.
Hey, I'm just excited that our, special teams, there's nobody hurt.
We're getting a potential kick returner back.
I don't think they might put him in, but I think they're still gonna have Garrett run with the ball.
Who?
What's his name?
Price.
Price, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Price, yeah.
I was thinking Garrett. I don't know why, but yeah.
And then who is it? Ty Felton, the rookie receiver?
Yeah, he might be the one that get replaced by Chandler, but I don't think Chandler's gonna play this week. He just came into the window after injury reserve. So,
well, to be honest, I thought they cut him. I didn't know he was still on the team.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't cut him.
He's not gonna. I don't know what help he can provide.
Another thing I just remember seeing, I think it's kind of funny. They waive Adam Thielen, then because one of their undrafted or their practice squad players got claimed by whoever, They turn around and sign a wide receiver to the practice squad today.
Is there anything to talk about for the Commanders' injuries? I mean, it looks like
they finally put out their report because it wasn't on Vikings.com.
Oh, yeah, they must have put it up or posted it after you looked. I mean, they got a Zach Ertz, Von Miller, Laramie Tunsil. Those three are just resting, so they didn't practice. Drake Jackson, Javon Kinlaw, Bobby Wagner. Those are DNPs. One of them I know is a real football player. Jaden Daniels, a quarterback, limited practice. Frankie Luvu, limited practice. Wide receiver Noah Brown must be on coming off of IR because they have an asterisk. He's full practice, and Tyler Ott, long snapper. They got their long snapper. He's not going to miss the game. He was full practice. There's Tom, special teams player for the Washington football team. All right, should we do predictions?
Boy,
Oh,
how is this going to turn out? I'm letting Dano.
It's a 3-win team against a 4-win team. I mean,
yeah. Well.
What the hell? I'm going to pick the Vikings to win this one just for you, Joe, because you're going to be there in person.
Me too. I'm going with Dano on that.
Oh, I thought you were going to the Washington football team's their football or their hotel rooms
the
night before the game. Oh, okay.
I wasn't able to get in this time,
What's the score?
I'm going to say 2016.
I mean, I was going to say they do have to score to win the game.
Fair enough.
And they haven't really figured that out recently.
They'll find their way.
Like a blind squirrel finding a nut every now and then or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Even a blind squirrel find a nut every once in a while.
I'm going to go with the Skins at 17-13.
You changed your mind, Tom?
No.
What
Well,
does Tom think?
I don't know. I was going to pick one. What did you pick?
I picked the Vikings.
You heard them.
I know that. So we'll go 21-18. What do you think, Dano? 21-18. Vikings are going to win.
I don't know. How does that work out for scoring?
Possible.
Oh,
Wouldn't it be awesome if it was like the Vikings win? Vikings win by 19-18.
So
they just let the kickers go to half field and just kick field goals to see who can make the most, and then they just like quit at halftime and they call it a game.
Okay, I was thinking about going just special teams scoring alone, just because we're really good at kicking field goals. Not that we can't get a touchdown.
And punting the ball. We're good at punting and kicking field goals.
Very good at punting. I mean, our punter's leg is, 4 times the rest of his body, but
I think they call him Quadzilla. I'm going to, so you got 21-18. Your call. I will go 17-10.
Vikings?
Yeah, 17-10 Vikings. I'll be there. I'm going, and they're going to get that touchdown. I guess that's 2 touchdowns. One of them's going to be a defensive touchdown. So yeah, 17-10.
They could get a touchback. We might just come back extra strong with the defense.
Ooh,
There's a possibility. Yeah.
We're talking safeties. All right, so we'll kind of keep this rolling along. So the NFC North roundups. We have, we did not do well. The Packers beat the Lions on Thanksgiving 31-24. And the Bears on Friday beat the Eagles 24-15. The Bears.
They're in first place.
Oh, they get to play them next anyway, so.
I text, what the hell is going on with the Lions and the Eagles? What happened? They let the Bears hit the Packers.
I know the Lions were doing really, really good. I thought they were going to get, I mean, they still may, they may make a comeback.
So,
folks, Tom's right up there.
Look at that. It's going to turn into a barn burner. So Tom picked up 2 points, and we.
Sorry, in the end, you guys got to share the cinnamon rolls.
Dano and I had a deal. I get an extra point. Remember?
I mean, if it's a tie, you get to share it, but there's only 1 fork. God, I'll wipe your image and bites.
What are you talking about, Tom? I said you would get a negative point.
All right, so I think John mentioned, the Bears play the Packers. Of course, it's at Lambeau Field, this game. Guess they like to keep the outdoors games towards the end of the season there in Lambeau. Who do we got winning the Packers Bears?
Bears.
Now they're gonna lose. You can't do it.
I'm gonna say the Bears.
The way they're playing, what can I say?
All right.
I don't want either one of them to win.
Well, one of them has.
We have a tie, 0-0.
Oh, the Packers already tied the Cowboys this year, so I guess they could tie again.
I'm shooting for a tie, not the one to wear either.
All right, so you're saying the Bears will win.
Can I say a tie?
Do you want to go tie? I mean, if they do tie, we'll give you an extra point.
I'm gonna shoot for the tie.
See how the Packers like. I guess we tied with them. Who's next? What do you think, John?
Oh boy. Don't want either of them, but I'll go with Tom's pick this time.
Will this be the one time that Tom picks the Packers?
No, I'm picking the Bears. Yeah.
I'm going with the Bears. I hate those Buzz. Lions.
I was hoping Tom was gonna say
They're playing the
same
boys.
What were you hoping?
The tie thing.
You can't tie the tie. Yeah, they'll play tomorrow. Thursday night
Yeah,
football.
they play the boys tomorrow.
You get to play 2 Thursdays in a row, both at home.
Is this in Detroit?
Yes, they are indeed.
I picked the Lions.
What say you, John?
I'll go with the Kitty Cats.
What do you think, Tom?
Thinking the Lions.
I haven't heard the Cowboys talked about much at all this season, so they must not be doing too hot. So otherwise, they'd be talked about on the ESPN, or all the pundits would be talking about them. So yeah, I'll go with the Lions too.
I mean, Cowboys, they won 6, lost 5. That's actually my brother Josh's team, Cowboys.
I wonder if he
Final thoughts. Quasey needs to figure out some different analytics than what he's been using.
are bringing the guys from Oakland back when they did Moneyball.
Whatever method he's using on these analytics that he's supposed to be using to decide which players to bring in needs to be revamped.
He just uses Excel and does forecast. That's all he does. Not even a linear regression model at all. Yeah, no, we got to see something. Something positive has to happen.
Yeah,
Hopefully they score some points.
something where you don't feel embarrassed at the end of the game.
Well, I even bought a sweatshirt, so hopefully I'll be able to wear. I mean, because I spent money on it, so hopefully they're okay next year, so I'll be able to wear it more. I don't want to wear it other than to the game.
Yeah,
That's kind of how I when the baseball season starts. I'll wear the Twins hat until 4th of July, and they're usually out of it by then. So then I won't wear the hat anymore because I'm kind of embarrassed about being a Twin.
Flag flying, Dano.
In fact, I don't know where it's at.
They call it Wisconsin. They call it the freak flag. Let your freak flag fly, Dan.
Well, I know nobody stole it.
I only got room on my flagpole for 3 flags. What I got up there is Old Glory, Navy flag.
Betsy Ross one?
And I wish it was. But anyways, and Second Amendment.
Hang it off a little pole off the deck.
Yeah, well, there's a thought, but that's even broken.
Now we know why the whole season's been bad. You haven't been flying your colors.
Stop it.
Well, I've been thinking about throwing the Vikings magnet on my vehicle, but I'm afraid somebody rip off with it.
Did you pay money for it?
What? The magnet?
Yes.
Never given away.
I thought it was free.
I where I got it from, but anyways,
Some homeless guy gave it to you on the corner. I trust you have one.
Got them all worked up now.
It's like a toddler showing me his toys. I'm waiting for it. He can't find it. He can't
Go
find it.
pull it off the refrigerator or what?
It stuck to it. He couldn't get it off the fridge.
see it?
Holy smokes, that thing is huge.
That's what she said. There's a resemblance. Well, like we talked about, hopefully they win. Any other final thoughts?
Yeah, I don't have any right now.
You're all out of final thoughts?
I threw all my final thoughts out there already.
We might talk about the final thoughts next week then.
Yeah.
All right. Once going, twice going, thrice. So if anybody likes what they saw here, hopefully you do. We'll keep our fingers crossed. Like and subscribe. If you want to join us for an episode, email us at skolchatwiscota@gmail.com. It will be in the description below, and we'll try to set things up. I can't find my phone. I'm using my Apple Watch. We'll see you next time.
Brighter days ahead, Skol Bikes.
So, win. Good night.